Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, a new tropical threat takes aim. The small plane hijacked above an airport, and Emmy's excitement. Tropical threat. The Gulf states on alert. Millions bracing for heavy rain from Mississippi to Louisiana. And a new flood watch for parts of the Northeast. After rains turned deadly. Plus the wildfires in the West. More than 60,000 acres scorched. Historic parts of the Grand Canyon turned to ashes. Ginger tracking it all.
Breaking overnight, captured. After an hours-long manhunt, the suspect in the brutal murders of an American Idol executive and her husband now under arrest. What the police are saying happened inside their Los Angeles home and how the gunman got in.
Mounting pressure on President Trump over the Jeffrey Epstein files. What he's now saying is one of his closest allies tells Attorney General Pam Bondi to put everything out there. Will she do it?
Hijacking. Chaos in the skies above one of North America's busiest airports. A small single-engine aircraft flying in circles, halting all other plane traffic.
Breaking overnight, a wall of shooting lava in Iceland. The popular tourist destination evacuated.
Scotty sounds off.
This is not a fulfilling life.
He's the #1 golfer in the world. Now, why Scotty Scheffler is changing his tune.
Why do I want to win the Open Championship so badly? I don't know, because if I win, it's going to be awesome for about 2 minutes.
Maine murder mystery. The new footage from the final days of the paddleboarder who was found dead. What police are now saying about the investigation.
An ABC News exclusive. Soccer star Savy King speaking about her mid-game emergency.
Yeah, this is intense.
Revealing what caused it and the moments after she collapsed on the field.
I wouldn't be here without them. The rest of my career, the rest of my life is for them.
And what she's saying about getting back in the game. And entering the Emmy-verse.
Doors! 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 Doors!
The Bear on fire. Abbott Elementary earning an A+.
I bet y'all want raises too.
I like
I'm
money.
still waiting on the paper towels.
Plus Han Solo, the President, Indiana Jones, and now...
You can even be Batman. You already sound like him.
I'm gonna make you pay for that.
That's exactly what Batman would say.
Harrison Ford waking up a first-time Emmy nominee.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
All the great roles that he has played, and now he's an Emmy nominee. Harrison Ford. We'll talk about it a little bit.
Yep, and also ahead overnight, it was an all-star, baseball all-star game like you've never seen. We're going to tell you what happened at the end to decide the winner.
That is all coming up, and we begin with the tropical threat to the Gulf states. Flood watch is in effect from Mississippi to Louisiana. Region alert for heavy rain and floods. Ginger here with the track and the timing. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, good morning, George. So we've got a camera from New Orleans, WGNO, showing us that lightning illuminating the sky. A lot of those thunderstorms are for now offshore, but they are going to come onshore. And that's why we've got a flood watch from Thursday through Friday night in New Orleans. But this is not just a New Orleans storm. We're talking about Baton Rouge, Gulfport, Mississippi, all because this disorganized area of thunderstorms has a 40% shot. Right now, it's kind of hanging by Apalachicola. It's going to move west. 40% chance of it becoming a named storm, which would be Dexter. Whether it gets a name or not doesn't really matter. It's going to travel over Mobile, and it's going to have that lopsided moisture with a lot of the thunderstorms happening well west of the center. And so that's why we've got Pascagoula over across to New Orleans and all of southeastern Louisiana on flood watch, looking for 4 to 6 inches of rain, but up to 15 inches as we go Thursday through early Saturday. Do want to mention that we just got that super saturated historic rain for some in the Northeast, and this afternoon we've got more slow-moving thunderstorms. So Northwest New Jersey on flood alert, 2-inch-per-hour rainfall rates coming again this afternoon, guys.
Rain in the east, wildfires in the west.
Yes, and so I want to bring you over to Mesa County, Colorado, just one of the dozens of wildfires that are burning. This is the Turner Gulch fire. It exploded yesterday from 1,500 to more than 12,000 acres. There are evacuations in place. But we have a pattern shift finally coming. They've been under this ridge, very dry. Now you get a little bit more moisture, will help the humidity, but some of these storms come through and the lightning gets to the ground, but the rain does not, so it can start more fires. That's how the Turner Gulch and many of the other fires have started.
And that's how it's got it?
Yes.
All right, Ginger, thanks so much. We're going to turn now to an arrest made in the murder of an American Idol executive and her husband, who were found shot to death inside their L.A. home. Trevor Ault has the latest for us. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Robin. And even with this arrest, this is still very much a mystery. A double homicide where police say they don't know the motive and they don't even know why the alleged shooter was inside the house. Overnight, after an hours-long manhunt and arrest in the violent homicide of an award-winning American Idol producer and her songwriter husband.
The victims were ruthlessly shot multiple times.
Robin Kay and Thomas DeLuca, both 70 years old, found shot to death inside their multi-million-dollar home in Los Angeles.
The suspect had managed to scale over one of the fences, gain access to the residence, and he entered an unlocked or unsecured door of the residence. And he was there for approximately half an hour. Investigators say when the couple returned home Thursday, the suspect, 22-year-old Raymond Budarian, was inside. They say a violent struggle ensued, with Budarian allegedly shooting both Kay and DeLuca multiple times in the upper body and head, then fleeing the house. And authorities say they still don't know why he allegedly broke in. Right now, it is an apparent random attack. The house did not appear to be ransacked. Police received calls about a possible burglary that day.
My renter called 911 on Thursday because she saw somebody hopping the fence.
When officers responded, they say they saw no signs of a break-in on the ground or from a police helicopter. It wasn't until Monday afternoon when they received another call from concerned friends.
Welfare check.
Investigators then saw blood on the front door and smashed a window to gain entry, finding the couple dead in separate rooms. A spokesperson for American Idol says Robin has been a cornerstone of the Idol family since 2009, serving as music supervisor for some of the program's biggest moments. In a statement, they say Robin will remain in our hearts forever, and we share our deepest sympathy with her family and friends during this difficult time. And police say they identified the suspect because he has a criminal history and forensics from that blood on the scene matched with him. The American Idol team says they are devastated by the couple's passing. George?
Sad story. Okay, Trevor, thanks. We're going to get the latest now on President Trump and the Epstein files. Trump is facing backlash from a growing number of close allies and congressional Republicans over his attorney general's decision not to release the files. Chief Washington correspondent John Carl has a story. Good morning, John.
Good morning, George. President Trump may not want to talk about Jeffrey Epstein anymore, but many of his supporters in Congress are demanding answers, and they are accusing his Justice Department of breaking a promise to release everything in the government's files about Jeffrey Epstein. President Trump is making it clear that he doesn't like that people keep talking about Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't understand it, why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is.
For years, many Trump allies, including his now FBI director, Kash Patel, pushed for the release of the government's files on the Epstein case, insisting they would implicate prominent Americans in a sinister plot. Attorney General Pam Bondi promised to release the files, but earlier this month, a big reversal. The DOJ and FBI announced following a review there was, quote, no incriminating client list and, quote, no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed anyone. The report also confirmed Epstein died by suicide in 2019. That triggered an avalanche of outrage on the right. Some even called for Bondi's resignation. Popular podcaster Joe Rogan is the latest Trump supporter to cry foul.
Kash Patel said there's nothing you're looking for. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to push back.
Right. No, of course. I
obviously, he's saying what he has to say.
Right.
In an attempt to calm the storms, Trump now says,
whatever she thinks is credible, she should release.
Trump, like many other New York celebrities, had some association with Epstein. When Epstein was arrested in 2019, Trump said that he had previously had a falling out with him and had not spoken to him in 15 years. The president told ABC's Catherine Falders that Bondi had briefed him on the Justice Department's review of the Epstein files.
Did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing. And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen.
Some Trump supporters are now calling for the Attorney General's resignation, but Bondi is still standing by the DOJ and FBI assessment.
Our memo speaks for itself, and we'll get back to you on anything else.
In a rare break with the president, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson said on a podcast that he'd like to see the administration, quote, put everything out there and let the people decide. He says Attorney General Bondi should explain her inconsistent statements.
She needs to come forward and explain that to everybody. I like Pam. I mean, I think she's done a good job.
Meanwhile, a growing number of rank-and-file Republicans say they just don't believe what the Trump administration is saying about Epstein.
I'm not happy. Nobody's happy about it. Nobody knows what's going on.
Several Republicans in Congress now say they want congressional hearings. They want to hear public testimony from Ghislaine Maxwell. That is Jeffrey Epstein's longtime associate, who is now in prison for conspiring with Epstein to sexually abuse young women. So, George, the bottom line here, while Trump is urging his supporters to move on, it's clear that many of them are just not willing to do that.
Yeah, we don't know yet whether they're going to take the action or not. Okay, John, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. Now to the investigation into the alleged hijacking of a small plane. Police say a suspect is in custody. Our transportation correspondent, Jill Benitez, is tracking what happened above one of the busiest airports in North America. Good morning, Gia.
Hey, Michael, good morning. Yeah, this is truly shocking. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have a lot of questions. Investigators do too. And you may be saying, oh, this was just a small plane, but there were big planes flying all around it. It's an incredibly dangerous situation that could have ended very differently. This morning, a suspected hijacking in the skies above one of North America's busiest airports.
We do have an aircraft that has been hijacked. Is in the vicinity of the airport.
This was the plane, a small single-engine Cessna 172, and it was going in circles over the Vancouver airport Tuesday, all plane traffic held in place.
Yeah, there's a little Cessna orbiting the airport, trying to stop everyone from going flying for some reason.
Vancouver is a major international airport, and so nobody knew whether the person had nefarious intent and intended to hurt themselves or to crash into somewhere on the Vancouver airport. So quite concerning.
Air traffic control alerting other pilots already in the skies nearby to be on the lookout and take caution.
I'm just going to let you know that so that you can continue looking out the window. It's a 172, and just in case anything starts heading towards you, you have the ability to move at your discretion.
Now an urgent investigation underway, authorities saying that the person who took control did it in protest, but it's unclear what the protest was for.
Looks like he's on the downwind right now.
The plane ultimately landing safely, police seen in this video surrounding it, taking the suspect into custody. So this morning, those questions: who was this alleged hijacker? How did he get in that plane? Why did he start flying it? What was the protest for? Those are all important questions for investigators this morning because, again, we're worried about those passenger jets, those large passenger jets flying all around.
This is so bizarre.
Really bizarre.
All right, Gio, thank you. Now to the president facing concerns about the new inflation numbers, which increased last month. That is raising questions about the potential impact of his tariffs on the cost of living. Our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, is tracking the latest for us there at the White House. Good morning, Rachel.
Robin, good morning to you. And inflation has started to rise. Experts say it's a sign that Americans are starting to feel the impacts at their wallet of the president's ongoing trade war. Inflation now up nearly 3% from just last year. So that means Americans are paying more on everything from groceries to clothes to furniture. Coffee up 30% from just 1 year ago. Appliances up 1.9% from a month ago, jumping for the third straight month. Toys also up 1.8% from just a month ago. Household furnishings and supplies also jumping 1% from month to month. Some good news here. You are starting to see the prices of eggs start to decrease after those record highs. But experts say overall you are likely to continue to see prices go up, especially as that next round of tariffs that the president is moving forward with is scheduled to go into effect in just a matter of weeks. The president, of course, campaigned on lowering prices for Americans. He is brushing off these numbers, continuing to go after the chair of the Federal Reserve, calling him to lower interest rates. But just given how unpredictable all of this is, that is unlikely, guys.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much for that. We're going to turn now to the #1 golfer in the world. Scottie Scheffler has been very successful in his professional career, but now ahead of the British Open, he's making comments like, quote, "This is not a fulfilling life." Sam Champion, you have the story. You're a sports guy. But Scotty's getting deep.
Let me tell you, it got a lot of people raising eyebrows here, and I'm not so sure he's wrong. Scottie Scheffler has won more tournaments and majors than anyone in the past 3 years in golf, and yes, he's currently chasing the Claret Jug, which, by the way, is the trophy for golf's original championship, the British Open. But the #1 golfer in the world is saying that winning isn't everything. This morning, the world's top golfer, Scottie Scheffler, getting candid ahead of this week's Open Championship, saying there's more to life than just winning.
This is not a fulfilling life. It's fulfilling from the sense of accomplishment, but it's not fulfilling from a sense of like the deepest places of your heart.
Ranked #1 in the world, he's considered by many to be the best in the sport, winning 2 Masters and this year's PGA Championship, bringing him to 16 PGA Tour wins since his professional career took off. He's also won Olympic gold and taken the #1 spot in the golfing world for more than 100 weeks in a row. But as the British Open kicks off, Scheffler's questioning out loud why he plays golf to begin with.
I love putting in the work. I love being able to practice. I love getting out to live out my dreams. But at the end of the day, sometimes I just don't understand the point.
The 29-year-old opening up in Northern Ireland, where the tournament is set to begin Thursday, saying that while he always sets out to win, it's a fleeting moment.
It's like showing up at the Masters every year. It's like, why do I want to win this golf tournament so badly? Why do I want to win the Open Championship so badly? I don't know. Because if I win, it's going to be awesome for about 2 minutes.
The 20s may be the time when you start reflecting on things like that. As Scheffler prepares to compete for his 4th major win, he says above all else, his priority is his family. And here's why I think he believes what he believes. And if golf ever affected his relationship with his wife or son, that would be the last day that he played the game for a living.
Wow. Good for him.
I just think that it was a refreshing kind of like conversation, you know? I mean, you've won a major award. It was...
It's been fulfilling for a long time for me, Sam. I'll be honest with you. Super Bowl is very fulfilling.
Yeah.
But I get his point. It's your work. It's not your life.
Yeah.
So I understand exactly where he's coming from. Like, this is what I do for a living, but when I leave here, I want to be home. I want my family to be happy.
Keep some balance.
Right.
It's a balance.
Doesn't define him.
Yeah, maybe that's the point.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam. Sure. Coming up, the main murder mystery, why police are staying silent about what happened to the paddleboarder found dead, as we see new video of her in her final days.
Plus, new at 7:30, why a grand juror in the Karen Reed investigation agreed to plead guilty related to the case.
Also ahead, our exclusive with a soccer player who had a health emergency on the field. Will, I know you had a chance to sit down with her.
I did, Robin. Good morning, and it was my honor speaking to Savy King. She's just 20 years old, already been through so much, collapsing on the field during that game. I spoke with her about her road to recovery, her perspective on life, and how she's going to make a comeback, guys.
Oh, we're looking forward to hearing from her, Will. Thank you. But Sam, referring to the Super Bowl as an award is different.
He did get an award after. He got that ring.
Yeah, I got a ring.
Thank you, George.
And you know what? We got the Piano Man coming up, director of the new Billy Joel documentary, having an update on his health, and we will be right back.
You gonna bring him inside? 0 stars. Did he just leave everything on the sidewalk like this? Okay, good. You guys are here. We don't have insurance, so lift with your legs, brace your back. Ava, my back does not brace. Call that young man back. You got his phone number, Barb?
Oh, welcome back to GMA. Yes, Abbott Elementary getting high marks once again. The hit show nominated for Outstanding Comedy Series. We're going to break down the biggest Emmy headlines as we get excited for TV's biggest night. That's coming up.
Funny line. My back does not brace. First new at 7:30, the latest on the war in Ukraine. Russia launched intense airstrikes overnight after President Trump authorized more deliveries of U.S. weapons to bolster Ukraine's forces. President Trump defended his 50-day deadline for Russia to agree to a ceasefire as Russia appeared to reject the ultimatum. And a woman who served on the Karen Reed grand jury has agreed to plead guilty to criminal contempt after prosecutors say she leaked information that was under seal. Jessica Leslie received a one-day sentence and was deemed served in 24 months of supervised release. Reed was acquitted of murder and manslaughter charges last month in the death of her police officer boyfriend.
Plus, take a look at this volcanic eruption in Iceland overnight. A wall of lava shooting into the air, prompting evacuations at a popular tourist destination, Blue Lagoon. Pretty amazing sight right there. In the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, made history last night. Fast forward to the bottom of the ninth, the American League team was down to its final strike, but managed to tie the score. And that's when the fun began. For the first time ever, the All-Star Game went to a swing-off. Basically a mini home run derby with 3 players taking a turn for each team. Kyle Schwarber hit 3 home runs on his 3 swings, lifting the National League to only their 2nd win in 12 years. And for the fans, that's a little extra bonus right there. I like that.
Something different.
Good for them.
Yes.
We're going to turn now to the hunt for a killer in Maine. Authorities released a statement on the investigation into the murder of a paddleboarder as we hear from friends of the victim. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Kersey is here with the latest on that. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, George. In the nearly 2 weeks since this avid paddleboarder's murder, police have said very little about it. But with a killer on the loose, there are now fears peak summer vacation season in an idyllic corner of Maine could be lost.
How's it going? This morning, new footage depicts Sunshine Stewart paddleboarding in her final days, just hours before her body was found under unusual circumstances near 100 Acre Island on Crawford Pond. And this morning, deliberate silence from Maine State Police investigating her murder. Investigators have ruled her death a homicide, but have not said how she died.
The reason we're limiting the release of specific details right now is because we're protecting the integrity of the investigation, the Maine Department of Public Safety said in a statement. When we speak to potential witnesses or suspects, it's critical that we hold back certain information that only the perpetrator would know. But the lack of information is unnerving to some in the community, like Stewart's friend Bethany Parmley, who spoke with our Portland, Maine affiliate WMTW.
The mood of the town and the community, it's shock, but also, just concern.
That newly emerged video shows Stewart teaching her friend Rachel Blumenberg's daughter how to paddleboard. Blumenberg told us she had been staying at Stewart's house and knew something was wrong when she didn't come home July 2nd.
We arrived home after dropping our friends off around 9 p.m. and the house was dark, like uncharacteristically so. And her dog was at home, who she loves tremendously. My daughter and I went to sleep somewhere around 10. And in the back of my mind, I was wondering why I hadn't heard from her.
Investigators are now scouring hours of video from the rustic campground where Stewart was last seen alive.
The authorities in Maine said our primary goal now is to find out who did this and make sure the case can be successfully prosecuted. And that may mean, guys, that the public is kept in the dark a while longer.
Strange story.
Yeah.
Sure is.
If we need to be in the dark, as long as they are working behind the scenes and doing what they need to do to find whatever it takes. You're right. Thank you. Now an ABC News exclusive with soccer player Savy King speaking about her recovery from her frightening on-field collapse in the middle of a game, eventually needing heart surgery. Will Reeve sat down with her, and he joins us now from Los Angeles. Good to see you, Will. Good morning.
You as well, Robin. Good morning. Savy King has been living her dream, playing professional soccer. She's just 20 years old. She has her sights set on making the Olympic and World Cup teams, but in a recent game for her pro team, Angel City FC, Savy collapsed, and it all became a nightmare. But thanks to the quick work and elite training of the Angel City medical staff, Savy survived, and now she's making a comeback in pursuit of those dreams.
Yeah, this is intense.
It's been just 2 months since National Women's Soccer League star Savy King suddenly collapsed on the field during a game. Moments before she fell, the Angel City defender had been celebrating a teammate's goal in a match against the Utah Royals.
What happened in that moment?
So there's actually a lot that I don't remember, but I remember I wasn't feeling right, and I remember I grabbed my leg because I was trying to distract myself from the fact that I felt like I was gonna pass out. And then I remember the medical staff coming onto the field.
Members of both squads gathering in a prayer circle as Angel City's medical staff tended to their fallen player for several minutes. The 20-year-old then rushed to the hospital unresponsive.
I'd never had any medical history of anything with my heart, even in injuries in general.
Her doctor says multiple tests revealed the pro athlete actually suffered a form of a heart attack due to a rare congenital heart abnormality.
Savy was born with an anomalous left coronary artery. The left coronary is the most important blood vessel in your heart. And when it's anomalous, it means that it's in a slightly different location than normal.
Dr. Richard Kim led the team of doctors who performed the surgery that corrected King's condition.
In Savy's case, we created a new pathway for the blood to get to the artery, so the blood goes into her blood vessel in pretty much a normal fashion. I think the first responders on the field did a fantastic job of resuscitating her before there was permanent damage.
Post-surgery, King posting on Instagram, thanking Angel City's medical team.
We made the decision then to start chest compressions while the AED was getting applied.
For it to happen on that night in our home stadium where we had our entire medical team there, it was an incredible work of that group and the timing that it actually happened to be able to have the outcome that we had.
They saved my life. That will stay with me forever in my heart, and just knowing that I get to play in front of them too and see that they were the huge reason why I'm here is like I play for them too now.
Both of King's mothers were by her side through it all.
What do you want your moms to know?
I love them and that like they are everything to me and that like I wouldn't I'm gonna start crying. I wouldn't be here without them. I can't even continue talking about it because it's just like there's not enough like anything I can give them. The rest of my career, the rest of my life is for them.
King now hopes to raise awareness about the importance of CPR.
Anything can happen at any time. So just knowing how to do CPR I think is super important because it can save a life and it saved my life.
The athlete also showing support for her team, attending a practice this week for the first time since the incident.
Every time I see soccer, I want to play. So it's always so hard to just watch and not be able to play, even just watching games. Just to have like a different perspective now that I can't play and just seeing a different part of the sport is really cool.
Although King isn't yet cleared to return to playing, her doctors are hopeful it's just a matter of time.
How would you describe the emotions you felt when you learned you would be able to continue following that dream in your soccer career?
I was just so happy that I was going to be able to recover and be as normal and almost be like a Savy 2.0 now. So I'll be back and I'll be better than ever.
Savy 2.0 is ramping up her training, but there is no specific timeline for her return. Tonight, she'll be trading the soccer pitch for the red carpet. She'll be right here in Hollywood at the ESPYs alongside her idol and now teammate, women's superstar Sydney Leroux. They are locker mates, they are friends, and yesterday, before our interview, Sydney was Savy's touch-up stylist right before we sat down for our interview.
Oh, that's awesome. And you could see, Will, that she is grateful for the people who helped her, and we're grateful that she shared her story with us and that you brought that to us, my friend. Thank you. Now with television's big night, the 2025 Emmy nominations are in, and Lara is here to break down who came out on top.
And a lot of breaking down indeed. It was a busy, busy year. So much anticipation for these nominations, and they did not disappoint. We are seeing some familiar faces, some newcomers, and plenty of co-stars facing off in the same category. It was a great year for TV and for the Walt Disney Company, which received 137 nominations. Take a look.
Doors! 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 Doors!
This morning, the Bear telling the competition if they can't take the heat, better stay out of the kitchen.
We have a 2-month parachute.
Sick.
No, wrong.
The returning Outstanding Comedy winner coming in with 13 nominations, including Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy for Jeremy Allen White.
And it's gnarly, and it's brutal, and it's specific, and not everybody can do it, but I can do it.
And there was a nom for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series for Io Adebri, who also received her first directing nomination.
It's kind of like the best feeling in the world.
The Hotshot Chefs will be facing off in the Outstanding Comedy Series category against Philly's finest at Abbott Elementary. Quinta Brunson.
Maybe it's worth it to keep going. She can be the sun and the moon and the planets.
Cheryl Lee Ralph.
I bet y'all want raises too. I like money. I'm still waiting on the paper towels.
And Janelle James.
If anyone has something they want to file, raise your hand. Not about me.
All receiving acting nods. And in a category far, far away,
I believe we are in crisis.
Andor, receiving 14 nominations, will be battling for Outstanding Drama Series against Severance. That show bringing home 27 nominations.
The four of you have become known as the face of severance reform.
Hulu's Paradise has scored 3 acting nods, including one for Sterling K. Brown in the Outstanding Lead Actor category.
It's like the world's coming apart. Back to the door.
The White Lotus, proving once again you can check out, but you can never leave.
Everyone comes to Thailand, they're either hiding from someone or they're looking for someone.
A whopping 4 of its stars, Carrie Coon, Parker Posey, Natasha Rothwell, and Amy Lou Wood, all now facing against each other in the Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama category.
We started this life together.
Michelle Williams received her second ever nomination for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Limited or Anthology Series for Dying for Sex, which scored 9 nominations.
Everything out in the open. I love this woman.
As she told us on Good Morning America, it was a role that tested her emotional limits.
I mean, I'm laughing, and by the end of it, I'm just a puddle on the ground because of how she faced it on her own terms. And she did it with the person that she loved most in the world, and she did it with humor, and she did it with compassion.
It's such a great series. A few more for you. Harrison Ford just got a really nice birthday present. He earned his first ever Emmy nomination just days after he turned 83 years young for his role in Shrinking. If you haven't seen it, please do. It's so good. And at 77, this lady, Kathy Bates, has made history as the oldest nominee for Best Lead Actress in a drama for her role on Matlock. That's a record, by the way, previously held by my mom's fave, Angela Lansbury. And that's it. Actually, that is not it. We'll have more in pop.
Okay.
Yeah, more in pop news.
All right, there's a lot more. Coming up next, Will Reeve is live in the ESPYs red carpet in L.A. Let's call it Los Angeles. Will.
Yeah, hey Sam, good morning. Coming up, we are live from the ESPYs. It's going to be a great night.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Wildfires in the West. More than 60,000 acres scorched. Some historic parts of the Grand Canyon reduced to ashes. We're live on the scene.
Behind the scenes of the new Billy Joel documentary.
Sing us the song of the Piano Man.
This morning, what the two directors behind the film are saying about the Piano Man.
I love you just the way you are.
And the latest on his health, weeks after being diagnosed with a brain condition.
And it's time for our Project Runway takeover as Heidi Klum returns to the hit show.
Now that's an entrance.
Christian Siriano and La Roche are here.
You ready?
With some of the new season's contestants taking on our GMA Caffeine Couture Challenge. And they're saying,
Good morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
We all know that the creativity on Project Runway is incredible, and our designers are putting the finishing touches on their creations for our Caffeine Couture competition. All their Java-inspired looks will be revealed. La Roche and Christian Siriano will crown a winner.
That is coming up. Also, Michael, you have an inspiring story coming up as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing this. It's a former professional football player who's using basketball to show young men in jail a different and better way of life, George.
I love this series that you're doing, Michael. But first, we're going to take a look at the top stories that are breaking at 8, starting with the latest on the wildfires out west. One fire exploding in size while flames burn out of control at the Grand Canyon. That's where our Faith Abube is for us this morning. Good morning, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, Robin. Crews here are facing so many challenges as these fires continue to grow. In fact, visitors here on the South Rim can actually see thick plumes of smoke rising over the canyon during the day. The biggest concern today is that the heat, coupled with potential dry lightning and wind gusts upwards of 35 miles per hour today, could potentially spark more fires, not just here, but across the region.
This morning, thick plumes of smoke blanketing parts of the Grand Canyon as two wildfires in and around the North Rim burn out of control. More than 60,000 acres scorched, reducing some historic parts of the canyon to ashes.
We lost 70 structures over the weekend.
Governor Katie Hobbs furious, calling for an investigation into why, she says, the federal government did not attack the Dragon Bravo fire aggressively from the start. Both the Dragon Bravo fire and the White Sage fire sparked by lightning, and both still 0% contained.
I think it's important to understand that, that our priorities are human life, property, and safety.
In western Colorado, these incredible images of the Turner Gulch fire exploding in size from 1,500 acres to more than 12,000 in just 24 hours. Meanwhile, in central Oregon, strong winds fueling the Cram fire, forcing mass evacuations.
The wind just took it and ran with it.
And up north, more than 500 fires blazing across Canada. Smoke now spreading into the U.S., triggering air quality alerts for parts of the Midwest.
And George, back here in the Grand Canyon, even though these fires have been burning for at least a week, officials tell me they can't say just yet how quickly they can get the fires under control. George.
Okay, Faith, thanks very much. We're going to Washington now, and President Trump stepping in to push legislation on cryptocurrency, a top priority. Also, his family has investments in cryptocurrency as it's stalled in the House. It's facing Republican opposition. Jay O'Brien has a story. Good morning, Jay.
Yeah, good morning, George. House Republicans are going to try as early as today again to pass a slate of cryptocurrency bills, as you said, a top priority of President Trump, after suffering a serious setback when a dozen GOP hardliners staged a surprise revolt, paralyzing the House floor and forcing votes yesterday to be canceled. President Trump saying he struck a deal with most of the holdouts overnight in the Oval Office. Supporters champion these crypto bills overall as first in their kind, but there are concerns that one of the bills, focusing on a digital asset called stablecoins, doesn't go far enough in regulating an often volatile industry. And Democrats point to the fact that President Trump, whose family business is building an expanding cryptocurrency empire, could personally benefit from the bill because a firm with ties to the Trump family recently launched its own stablecoin. The White House has disputed any conflicts of interest, pointing to the fact that the president's assets are in a trust, not a blind trust, but one managed by his children. Michael.
All right, Jay, a lot of conflicts there. We appreciate you. We're going to turn now to Prince Harry on a mission to raise awareness about the deadly danger of landmines around the world, following in the path of his mother, Princess Diana, who championed the cause as well. Maggie Rulli is tracking the latest from London for us, and good morning to you, Maggie.
Hey, Michael. Yeah, this morning, Prince Harry's in Angola, retracing the footsteps of his mother from nearly 30 years ago. Now, guys, he's there solo without his wife, Meghan. He's working with the Halo Trust, an organization that works to clear landmines from around the world. And it's the exact same organization that his mother, Princess Diana, worked with when she went to Angola in 1997. And, guys, you remember those striking images of the princess in a flak jacket and helmet walking through a cleared path in a live minefield. Those images made only more extraordinary by the fact that she passed away just later that year. Well, now her son, Prince Harry, is back in Angola, a place we know is special for him. He's visited before. Guys, I was there with him on that trip when he went in 2019 to walk the exact same path his mother walked. And I will never forget the emotional weight of that moment. Everyone in the crowd just fell silent. It was also on that trip that he met with a woman who had lost her leg in a landmine, the same woman his mother had met with all those years ago. Well, guys, today's trip by Prince Harry is a chance for him to continue on this mission that's so important for him and to continue working on his mother's legacy. Guys.
Truly following in her footsteps, Maggie. Thank you so much for sharing that. The ESPY Awards are being held tonight, honoring the best in sports. Will Reeve is on the red carpet there in LA for us and going to tell us what we can expect. Good morning again, Will.
Hi there again, Robin. You know a little something about the ESPY Awards here in Hollywood. It's one of the best nights in sports. It's a great confluence of athletes and entertainers. Everybody gets all dressed up. There's awards for best team and best play. And there's also really meaningful moments throughout the show. Alex Morgan and Diana Taurasi, they are two women's sports legends. They are each going to receive the Icon Award. Oscar Robertson, the NBA great, will be following in our Robin's footsteps, winning the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage. Penn State volleyball coach Katie Schumacher-Cawley will be winning the Jimmy V Award for Perseverance. And in Los Angeles, this area so devastated by and still reeling from those wildfires earlier in the year, they will be honored. First responders receiving the Pat Tillman Award for Service. It's all going down tonight at 8 Eastern. It's the ESPY Awards on ABC and on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Prior to the show, you'll find me. I'm going to be working the red carpet, interviewing all the stars of stage, screen, field, court, whatever.
You are the hardest working man at GMA. I got to say that.
He's going to need a nap today.
No, he's going to need a little power nap or a disco nap, as we would say back in the day. Sure. All right, Will, thank you so very much. It is a special night. I hope he has a good time.
Oh, yeah, he will.
Coming up, GMA Morning Menu, behind the scenes with the Piano Man, the directors of the new Billy Joel documentary on his health, upbringing, and his music.
Also had more on the Emmy nominations, including how the Bears' Iowa Deborah is making history.
Plus, Deals and Steals. Tori Johnson is back with more incredible deals to help you beat the heat, starting at just $5. And Lara and Sam are with some special guests. Hey, you two.
Yeah, I am so excited. Project Runway stars Christian Siriano is here and Law Roach is here. They're going to tell us about the new season. And there are the competitors who are taking on our Caffeine Couture Challenge. Sam, how are they doing?
We're backstage, and there are some fabulous looks that are brewing right here. Now, guys, don't forget to choose from the what is it, accessories wall? Is that what I'm supposed to? The show is about to begin. All right, hang with us.
Every time I walk, it's a walk of fame.
Miley Cyrus, Walk of Fame. It's featuring Brittany Howard as part of her visual album, Miley Cyrus Something Beautiful, which is now available on Disney Plus and Hulu on Disney Plus. And you can hear more from Miley on GMA3, ABC News Live Crime with Linsey Davis, and Nightline.
All right, we're all just moving and grooving to it.
And you know, you all are getting a star on the Walk of Fame.
Are we?
Along with Miley. Along with
Finally
Miley.
catching up to you.
Thank you.
How great is that?
It's a nice,
I mean, taking up the whole street is what I hear, like the whole street.
It's a nice award.
You've got to be around the whole show.
That's right, you miss out on those. But we got our GMA cover story right now. It's a conversation with the directors of the new Billy Joel documentary as we learn more about the Grammy winner's health after he was recently diagnosed with a brain disorder that affects his vision, hearing, and balance. Going to bring that to us, Sam?
Yeah, this is going to be kind of an amazing documentary, I think. In the documentary, you're going to hear from big stars, the likes of Bruce Springsteen, Paul McCartney, Sting, along with Billy Joel's friends, family, and his ex-wife, even Christy Brinkley. But this morning, we're hearing from the directors, and they have an update on the beloved piano man's health.
Mama, if that's moving up, then I'm moving out.
He's one of the best-selling musical artists of all time.
Sometimes it's alien to me, this guy Billy Joel.
Sing us a song, you're the piano man.
I'm reminded of it when I go walk on the street.
You've got us feeling all right.
Oh, right, I'm that guy.
That guy, Piano Man, Billy Joel, now starring in his own HBO two-part documentary. We talked to the directors of Billy Joel and So It Goes just weeks after the 76-year-old canceled shows after being diagnosed with a brain disorder that affects his vision, hearing, and balance.
He's doing physical therapy. He's healing. He's working on getting better.
The documentary is a deep dive into his upbringing and personal struggles that fuel his songwriting.
He's a savant, and music saved his life.
Billy trusted two women to tell his story, and we're quite proud of that. And I think we were able to really reveal a side of him that another set of filmmakers may or may not have been able to.
Exploring the origin stories of his music in detail.
In the middle of the night.
Like The River of Dreams came to Billy in a dream.
But I'm singing in the middle of the high, and it would not go away. It became part of my being.
I'm in New York State of Mind.
And the 1976 fan favorite New York State of Mind, written after a bus ride to his new home in upstate New York.
I saw my wife. I said, do we have a piano? Yeah, it's upstairs. Let me just go up to the piano.
His childhood was filled with turmoil, his father leaving when he was just a boy. But there always was joy from music.
His mother knew that Billy had a gift, and she made sure he had those piano lessons.
Strong women, like his mom, a theme throughout his life, including supermodel Christy Brinkley, his wife of 9 years with whom he had daughter Alexa.
Here I am dating this supermodel. Me? I'm from Hicksville.
And his first wife and business manager, Elizabeth Weber, who many credit as playing a crucial role in Joel's early success.
Don't go changing.
Fighting to Get Just the Way You Are released as a single, and it became his first big hit.
I love you just the way you are.
There are more cool stories. Joel also talks about how one record label didn't think his album, The Stranger, had a single on it. Now, let's remind everyone that this album has classics like Moving Out, Only the Good Die Young, Just the Way You Are. Wow. So record execs can be wrong, right? A song which ended up winning 2 Grammys, Only the Good Die Young, part two of the documentary from Billy Joel. And So It Goes debuts Friday, July 18th on HBO and HBO Max. Part 2 debuts Friday on July 25th.
What an icon.
Yeah.
What an icon. And we hope he's doing okay. Thinking about him.
How about a little pop news there?
Yeah, let's do it, everyone. Good morning to you. And we will begin with what everyone is talking about this morning. The Emmy nominations are out. So many stars celebrating big milestones and moments, including the Bears' Io Adebri making history as the first woman to be nominated for her work as an actor and a director. Not only was she recognized for her performance as Sydney, but also for outstanding directing in a comedy series for directing one of the episodes of The Bear. The Pit star Noah Wiley scoring his first nomination in 26 years. The last one, of course, was for ER. And to make it even more special, the cast and crew found out on set while they were filming season 2. Only Murders in the Building, nominated for Best Comedy Series for the 4th straight season. And Hulu's breakout series, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, earned its first nomination for Outstanding Unstructured Reality Program for its first season right out of the gate. Our friend Stanley Tucci's food series, Tucci in Italy, received 2 well-deserved and well-done nominations. And our friends at Dancing with the Stars received... What is the score? Not 1, not 2, but 3 nominations.
Oh, boy.
Put up your pedal. Jimmy Kimmel, congratulations, Jimmy. He was nominated for the 14th consecutive year for that fabulous show every night. And finally, Ron Howard and Martin Scorsese, 2 of the most famous directors in the world, known for their work behind the camera, but now recognized for their acting, with nominations for Best Guest Actor in a Comedy Series for their stints on The Studio. They're both so funny.
Ron Howard was very funny.
Yeah, wasn't he great when he gets so mad? Just very un-Ron-like. We want to congratulate all the nominees, and it all happens Sunday, September 14th. What a year.
Sounds good.
Yeah, really good. And so many actresses and actors up against each other for the same series, which is always stressful but kind of fun to watch. Also in the news this morning, the places Ariana Grande and Josh Gad will go. Warner Brothers has announced on Instagram that duo will voice characters in their new animated feature based on Dr. Seuss's children's classic. If you haven't received this popular book about life's journeys as a present, you've probably given it. It is just wonderful. John M. Chu of Wicked fame is directing, with songs by EGOT winner Pasek and Paul, known for their work in Dear Evan Hansen, The Greatest Showman, La La Land, and more. The Places You'll Go is coming to IMAX in 2028. Wow. And then finally, we have a big congratulations for the WNBA. Yesterday, Will Reeve announced right here that on GMA that Portland, Oregon's brand new franchise will be called The Fire. I love that. And that must have been a good luck charm because the WNBA is heating up. The numbers are now in. Over the weekend, ABC aired one of its most watched games ever when the Indiana Fever took on the Dallas Wings. Caitlin, she was on fire. No, not to steal Oregon's thunder, but she pulled out the W, just playing out of her mind. ESPN reporting that the WNBA viewership is up 7% compared to just last season. Each game gets an average of 2.1 million people tuning in. This is so exciting, and it comes just weeks after the league revealed expansion plans. 3 new teams are being added in: Detroit, Cleveland, and Philadelphia. As Robin loves to say, this is a movement, not a moment. So congratulations.
And we will be at the All-Star Game. It's in Indianapolis.
You know it.
The All-Star Game, and we'll be live from there on Friday and attending the game on Saturday.
That's fantastic. So, we just love it.
A lot of stars are going to be joining us. A lot of the All-Stars will be with us.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lara. It's good.
Oh, boy, but that's summer weather. Our girl, Tori Johnson, is back with another Deals and Steals, helping you beat the heat.
Yeah.
All right, Tori,
okay,
what
so
you got?
make a big splash, whether it's a pool, beach, there he goes, or in the TV studio. You are ready. You're ready to float away, right? Float away. So Big Mouth has it all. So we've got pool floats. We have these huge sprinklers that just attach with your garden hose.
Cool.
Splash pads. We've got them for little kids. We really have everything, including, you want to grab one end of this? You need to have a pizza blanket to go with a pizza blanket / towel to go with your melted ice cream cone float.
Perfect.
Right? You're
I
good
love
to go.
pepperoni.
Plus, it's all slashed in half, starting at just $5.
$5. Okay, let me get out of that.
Then we've got Vapor Apparel. What I love about this is it's UPF 50 fabric, really great material. It's going to give you sun protection whether it is wet or dry. So no matter the adventure that you're on, this has you covered. It has the Skin Cancer Foundation's seal of recommendation. We've got clothing options for men, women, and kids. All of them slashed in half today. Starts under $7.
Very material feels fantastic.
The material feels terrific. Okay, something else that feels great. This is Frog Talk. So you carry this with you. You get it wet, wring it out, and then it stays cool. So imagine putting that around your neck, or on your face, or wherever you need to be to have a little bit of cooling.
You use that on the golf course, actually.
Exactly. Anywhere you want to cool down, whatever that adventure, golf, after gym, you name it, we've got it for you here. A set of these starts at $5.
That's cheap. Frog Talk. There we go.
Rios, these are really great. Floating sunglasses. The crew asked that you try those and these so that we could decide which we like better on you. The more classic shape. These are a little more square. Oh, I mean, both look good. Both look good. They look fabulous. What I love about these is floating, polarized. Is there a preference that you have?
I don't know.
You could go with either.
I could just take them both.
Off, you could buy them both. It's a polarized nylon optic lens that is clearer than glass. It's going to also be very water friendly. So if you're around the water, they're going to float if you accidentally drop them.
Which I've done.
Men, women, and kids all slashed in half today.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, those do look good.
I love that. Let's keep going.
So this is Sweat Block, and this was created by a medical researcher who had difficulty with excessive sweating and wanted to have a solution. So he came up with this, and it's an easy way, whether you use these wipes or the antiperspirants. We've got them for hands, feet, really all over the body to help you minimize or eliminate sweat when you don't want it. All slashed in half. He started at $8.50.
I got a friend of mine. I've never seen anybody sweat like him. He's getting that.
Okay, good. Naked Sundays. So this is making their deals debut. I am new to this line.
Naked Sundays.
Yes, Lara.
Why y'all
big
cheering?
fan.
It's the name, okay?
Lara, you know what? It's not just the name, it's also the SPF. So all of these products have SPF built in. Skincare meets sun care. Couple of things that I love. This collagen glow with SPF, moisturizer with SPF. If you already want to keep your regular makeup routine, buy this mist, SPF 50. You can just mist over your makeup just like this. SPF 50, all slash and half starts at $10.
Oh,
really
I
smart.
love that.
Sam has taken a friend. Sam has taken a friend.
Naked Sundays.
Yeah,
Don't tell Tori.
He thought he was sneaking it.
We need this.
He was
Must have.
Tori, you're going to be back tomorrow with more. We partner with these companies on these deals. You can get them on our website. And former NFL player turned pastor, lifting up spirits for the next generation. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
We're back now with our series, Men Uplifting the Next Generation. This morning, we want to introduce you to a former professional football player who's making a difference in the lives of young men in one of the country's most notorious jails. For these young men, basketball has been a saving grace in so many ways. But this is no regular court. This gym is on New York's infamous Rikers Island. The players, inmates. Their coaches, correction officers. They're more like a family. And the man behind it, more like a father figure.
Emoji, pull up. Emoji, pull up.
Former professional football player and Super Bowl champion turned pastor, Timothy Johnson. Why specifically Rikers?
So I prayed one day, and I heard him tell me the words. He spoke to me and said, Rikers Island. But I actually did a little research and found like, this is a bad place. They call it hell on earth. And so when he spoke to me about going there, that began the journey of a lifetime.
The initiative is called Fatherless No More. The goal is to show these young men a new way of living. They're all here for a myriad of reasons, many charged with violence, gun possession, or gang-related crimes.
Use the tools in your tool belt. We've been equipping you. We've been giving you everything you need. Use your tools.
They share the need for a father figure and the desire to change their ways. Fatherless No More. What is the significance in the name?
If you look across the landscape of every social indicator in our country, in our world, you'll find that fatherlessness is at a crisis level. See the effects, but we don't look at the root of the effects. Whether it's poverty, incarceration, the level of teen pregnancy, domestic abuse, these men had a father. Whether they know him or not is not the issue. The issue is that root, that hole in their soul has not been healed.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
And as they await trial, Pastor Tim wants to change them while there is still a chance. It begins with Bible study.
Who wants to read that?
As Jesus was walking along, he saw a man who had been blind from birth.
An open discussion about applying those lessons toward their lives.
A lot of times in my life, I live in the moment, and that's me being spiritually blind.
Making a decision in the moment is what blinds you. Being caught up in your feelings, caught up in your emotions, caught up in reacting to something that was done to you. You feel slighted, you feel wrong.
He's also healing these young men by showing them fatherly love.
I love you, Shamari.
I love you too. The first time he met me, he grabbed my face and told me he loved me. I thought he was crazy at first. He never met me. And as time went on, I see that he actually cares about us.
Those words of love and affirmation flow freely.
I love you. You're a good brother, good teammate.
I'm not happy you're in jail, but I'm happy we're together in jail and doing this. I want to say I love you.
And all that love gives way to deep buried pain.
I freaking want to play basketball no more. I had a lot going on.
What was he struggling with?
The reality of being on Rikers Island and not having ready access. He loves his family. He's a family guy.
My daughter was born 2 days after I got arrested, so I feel bad. Like, I felt like I left her. I was kind of getting depressed. I feel like I ain't have nobody.
You're losing your old life, Los. I've been through it. Look at what you have. You got a whole family.
It ended with a hug. Why a hug?
When you're isolated and you're in a place where you don't get to see a lot of pictures of yourself, not a lot of mirrors, you know, you can kind of lose a sense of being human. And sometimes having a father figure hug you gives answers that are unspoken.
The impacts of Pastor Tim's work can be felt throughout the jail.
The violence in the facility, it's decreased, and the Fatherless No More initiative says, no matter what you go through, I'm going to be there to support you and provide you with the mentorship that you need to get through it.
That's what he's doing. He's healing us. That's what he's doing. And you actually see it. Kids are calm. And that's the most beautiful thing to see, that they start to feel loved.
This initiative only made me better as well. It's not just for the population of the inmates. PT helped officers with hugs. He helped officers with kind words.
Let's pull up.
This initiative showed me that, like, we're not alone. This initiative told me that there's always a second chance. This initiative changed my life, got me closer to God.
This initiative just gave me a new life. Like, it's about taking steps forward and not going backwards.
How important it is to look out for each other and stay out the way, and to stay level-headed for our future.
Is faith alive?
Faith alive.
Now, so far, more than 100 inmates at Rikers have participated in the Fatherless No More initiative, and most of them have chosen to be baptized while they've been there.
And Pastor Tim actually moved there?
He moved there. George, he said he didn't know anything about Rikers Island. He just had it, he prayed, and it came to him. So he actually moved there 3 years ago. He moved into the parking lot of Rikers Island in an RV, and he lived there for months. And now he goes back once a month for a week to continue this initiative. But you can see he's trying to change lives, and these kids, give them hope. Yeah. And hopefully they'll get out and at least know that there's a positive and better direction they can go in.
Wow.
Important
so
work
inspiring.
he's doing.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
The Project Runway designers are putting the finishing touches on their caffeine couture. We're going to see their creations later this morning. But first, the hotly anticipated season 21 of Project Runway is just weeks away. Stars Christian Siriano and La Roche. Give them up. Come on, give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. You all both look fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
You guys.
All right, we're just trying to keep up with you. Oh, thank you. You're back as a mentor.
Yeah.
What is this, your fifth season as a mentor?
Fifth one as a mentor.
Yeah, so what's going to be different this season?
I'm a little tougher now, I think, because I've done it a bit, and the designers need it. Like, they need a little tough love. But I think I help a lot because the judges are really tough. So I try to give constructive criticism as best I can because I know how tough the judges are going to be.
You know, I love this word. You're an image architect.
Yes.
Yeah, for Zendaya, Ariana Grande, Celine Dion.
Wow.
But, you know, how will that influence your judging style on the show?
Well, I think I come with the hopes that the designers will make something I want to use for my clients. So I think that's where my judging try to steer them to a place where people who do what I do will actually want to use those clothes. So I am a bit tough.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
It's out of control. I can barely get through an episode. I'm like, love. All right.
It's preparing them for the real world.
So, Christian, you're just a baby when you won 17 years ago.
Yeah.
So now you're the mentor. So what's your best advice?
I think my biggest advice now is that I'm a real working designer, so when I say something to them, I'm like, trust me, Law's not gonna like it. He called me yesterday and wants that dress. He doesn't want this dress. That's not what he's looking for. That's not what Heidi's gonna wear. I try to give them like real advice, what's happening in fashion right now.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. And you were, look at that little look in your eyes. Talk about the judges. I mean, when you say that you give some really hard, critical advice, just speak to that.
I think it's just tough love because I think I joined the show because cultivating the next generation of talent is really important to me, and it always has been. And so I think I wouldn't do them, I would be doing them a disservice if I was sugarcoating things. So, you know, I give it to them the way the real world gives it to you. It's no, soft parenting.
So you had people give
here.
you tough love as you were coming up?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm from Chicago. I don't know it's tough love.
No sugarcoating in Chicago.
No, not at all.
How have you seen the talent over the years?
Yeah, I mean, this season, I think they're really talented designers that they're making incredible things. And I think what people forget is it really is 15 hours, sometimes 10 hours. They get no time. They create incredible things. And then we have to judge them. You know, it's a hard show, you know, and I think, and what Heidi likes, Law doesn't like, what Nina likes, nobody likes. So it's such a,
and for you, it's interesting because you were them.
Totally. So I know what it is like, and I know what it's like to be in the real world in fashion too. So you do get judged pretty harshly. Yeah. I mean, there's gonna be an actress that is like, I hate that dress, I'm never wearing it. So they have to hear that.
No,
yeah.
Okay, and you're
but
there.
It's so fun.
Yeah, you make it so much
We have the best time. I'm in the workroom. It's the best. Yeah.
Well, you guys are going to be back in just a minute, Christian.
Yeah.
And we will be judging the Caffeine Couture Challenge.
What is that? What is a caffeine couture
Because it's
challenge?
early in the morning, you need caffeine, but that doesn't mean you can't walk out couture.
Oh, excuse you. All right.
Yes. You're in.
All right, behind the scenes here, we are getting ready for our Caffeine Couture Challenge.
It's very exciting. We've got Ethan, Melania, Jesus with their looks almost ready. Don't want to reveal too much. Because what is it? It's not the red carpet. What is it? The runway, right? We're going to put everything on the runway. We'll be right back.
Yes, we love live television. And we're back with 3 designers from the brand new season of Project Runway. So excited to introduce you to Ethan Mundt, Melania Daly, and Jesus Estrada. They are all ready to take on our Caffeine Couture Challenge with our judges. Christian Siriano is here, everybody. And the one and only Lara Roach is here as well. And here is a look at how our Caffeine Couture Challenge got started. Project Runway is back.
As you know, in fashion, one day you're in, and the next day you're out.
12 aspiring designers facing fashion royalty Heidi Klum, Nina Garcia, Christian Siriano, and Lara Roach.
We agreed to disagree.
Yeah, we agreed to disagree.
On the runway for season 21 of the Trailblazing series.
Literally, like, my intern could sew that in 30 minutes.
And now GMA is putting 3 of them to the test. Ethan, Jesus, and Melania. Their morning show mission? Create Caffeine Couture, inspired by a morning beverage.
So I'm doing like a latte, cappuccino with all the designs in it.
We followed along from the planning.
I need boning, I almost forgot.
To the shopping.
I'm gonna give you fashion.
And just 24 hours ago, the contestants started sewing. Will they make it in time, or will they be fashionably late?
Oh, this is going to be a good season. I love that the designer said this is less pressure than the actual show.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get our models started. So let's welcome you. Come out in this first look. This is Ethan's look. His inspiration was a cappuccino, which it should be.
Yeah, come
well
on.
done, Ethan. Oh.
I really love this.
That's very nice.
Feels cappuccino.
I mean, how much time did you have to do that?
A day.
All right, Christina, come on out. This is Belania's look. This is inspired by a matcha latte. I get it. I get the green.
I see the matcha latte.
I do.
And I matcha like it.
That's beautiful. Luz, you're next. This is Jesus's look inspired by a mocha. Oh.
Yeah.
That is.
Thank you.
I needed to be looking at you all, though, instead of looking at the looks. I needed to be looking at you guys.
I never saw them.
That is fantastic. Very well done for the three designers.
All right, let's go
see
get
all
them
of them
all
out.
Beautiful.
And while we take it in for a second time, work it, girls. I want to start with Ethan. So talk to me, what is behind the cappuccino? A wonderful nod, by the way, to the morning and Good Morning America. Appreciate that.
Good morning, I'm Ethan, also known as Utica. And today I was inspired by a cappuccino. I wanted to give the softness and strength that comes with a warm cup of coffee and just the kick that caffeine gives you. So I decided to find this like soft, frothy tweed that gives comfort, but it gives this just business with the structure. And I wanted to incorporate the swirls with this glitter fabric here that you find in the coffee, and there's also little details on the inside of the cuffs and peeking out of this
It's
jumpsuit.
just tremendous, the detail in 24 hours.
In one day, it looks so expensive. It looks so. That is a very expensive cappuccino.
You made it very clear. You're all about keeping it real, a little bit of tough love. You don't have any. You're all positives here.
No, I think it's absolutely fabulous, and the tailoring.
That's a win.
The tailoring is really well done.
Thank you. The fit.
Christian, your
fit.
thoughts?
It's so hard to fit this fabric. It fits beautifully, perfection. It's gorgeous, and I like that it's understated. You know what I mean? I think it's, she's very casual.
Yeah, totally.
She's going to have coffee in this.
Yeah, it's fantastic, really. I feel the coffeeness of it all and the froth, but then you get the kick that you get with the caffeine, which is great. All right, Belania, what is behind the matcha latte design?
So what's behind the matcha latte design is this flowing, I got inspired by the flowing fabric. So it went from green to like this white frothy color. So I did a poncho with a collar, I did a corset, and I did a pants. So yeah, this is my piece. I wanted to capture this.
You did, you really did. Law, any points?
I think she nailed it. When the model walked out, like even if she wasn't holding no matcha, I knew it. I knew it was matcha. So I think the reference really came through in her look, and the fact that she made pants in a day is really incredible.
Yeah, gorgeous. I think the movement's the best part, and I think when you get a matcha latte, it has a lot of movement and swirl to it. So I think that's fabulous.
Yeah, I like the collar too.
Yeah,
it's very. It's everything. Great job.
Jesus, let's talk about the story behind mocha.
So I wanted to capture the richness of what a mocha drink is, and I wanted to use the ruffles as my inspiration of the swirling of when you're mixing the milk and the mocha. And then the flower kind of represents like, those designs when you get a fancy mocha, they do like beautiful designs.
Yeah. All right.
And then my morning element, of course, is a bag of coffee beans.
Because you can fit so much in that bag.
You can fit a lot.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's really beautiful. And
love it.
Again, I really see the reference. Like, this is totally a mocha.
Mix my mocha up. I really need one.
And you know what we need? We need to crown a winner. So
already? Oh my gosh.
For me, you all are, but unfortunately,
are you gonna huddle?
You can win this gorgeous golden scissor.
I think so, right?
What do you think, judges?
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, we have a winner.
Okay, who is?
And the winner of our challenge this morning is...
It has to be the matcha latte.
Matcha latte. All right, Belania, let's go over.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Of our golden scissors trophy and $2,000 gift card to Mood Fabrics. And we also want to give you a very special message from host Heidi Klum. Take a look at this.
From my holiday. I am actually going to be on Good Morning America, but since I'm coming straight from vacation, I have nothing to wear. Can you believe it? So I have an ask. Would you please make me an outfit? Please, 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 so I can wear it on the show. And, well, the best look will be revealed on August 6th when I'm on.
Well, that was a very glamorous look at
Her look always wins.
All right.
Wow, thank you to our judges. Thank you for being here so early.
Special thanks to Bernino for all the sewing machines. Project Runway premieres Thursday, July 31st on Freeform, Hulu, and Disney+.
Yes.
We will be right back. You guys, that was awesome. Great job, by the way.
Thank you. You have to admit, all the looks were fabulous.
They were great.
Gorgeous.
Congratulations to all of them. Have a great day, everyone.
Oh,
Sam, you can't take that home.
No.
It's got to stay here.
Well, deflate it so you can get it in the car at least.